Next on NFL Primetime, as bad as they feel in Dallas, they're feeling that much better in Detroit. What an epic collapse/comeback at Cowboy Stadium. In Philadelphia, they feel the same way. How did the Eagles blow a 20-point lead at home to San Francisco? And this much we know. In 2011, Aaron Rodgers still rocking the championship belt. NFL Primetime has it all.
Welcome to NFL Primetime, presented by Bud Light.
Well, here we go. Hi, everybody, and welcome into another edition of NFL Primetime. As always, glad you're here with us. Trey Wingo with Merrill Hodge and Tim Hasselbeck. Too much on rocking the belt there?
No, I liked it.
Sold it okay?
He used it twice, so
he did? All right, good. So I underused it, which is more important.
It's one of my favorite moves in all of football right now.
And we will have a lot more on that game with Aaron Rodgers and the Packers coming up in just a little bit. But Monday Night Football wraps up Week 4, and it is the Indianapolis Colts sans Peyton Manning in Tampa to take on the Bucs. For the very latest on that, let's go down to Wendy Nix with this DirecTV report. Wendy, it's the first start for Curtis Painter in his NFL career. How's he being received in the locker room?
Well, Trey, it's his first career start, and it's on a pretty big stage, but he does have the support of his teammates. In fact, Reggie Wayne in particular had been very vocal, asserting that Painter should have been the original choice when it became clear Peyton Manning was out indefinitely. Tonight, he is the man. And Wayne says it's up to this entire Colts offense to help Painter ease the transition. He says Curtis has a live arm and believes he can make every throw. So it's up to us to go out there and try and help calm him down. I believe that starts with the running game. When asked, though, Painter said the most important thing to him was that he go out and not try and play like Peyton Manning. Manning says Painter is an incredible player and he does so many special things, but I believe it is crucial that I don't try and play outside of myself. His coach said he had a good week at practice, that he's confident. And, of course, moving the ball 80 yards last week against Pittsburgh Steelers didn't hurt either. Trey?
All right, Wendy, thanks. Yeah, if you're a Colts fan, you say, hey, you know, the best thing we took out of that loss, besides the defense and the way they played, was the fact that Curtis did move the ball pretty well against that Steelers defense for the tying touchdown late. But this is a totally different defense he's now facing in Tampa. Josh Freeman gets all the love in Tampa, and he should, a rising star quarterback. But that D-line, Tim, is something special.
Yeah, they've been phenomenal, and so Curtis Painter is going to have his hands full. They've dominated the line of scrimmage. That's probably what's been the most impressive thing when you look at that Bucs front. We know they've spent early draft picks on guys. You look at this here. Look at the way they push back the line of scrimmage against the Atlanta Falcons. And, Merrill, you want to stop the run? What do you want? Penetration.
The number one killer in the running game.
Hey, there's penetration, and there's a tackle for a loss for that Bucs defense, started up front with that defensive line. How about getting after the passer? Look at Gerald McCoy getting pressure, and then here comes Adrian Claiborne. To clean it up. Ball comes out, violent at the quarterback. You see here, forces the fumble on Matt Ryan. But really, when you look at this team in crucial moments, playing complementary football. Brian Price really forces the Atlanta Falcons off schedule. The Atlanta Falcons are forced to kick a field goal in that situation. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers get the football back because Brian Price wins his one-on-one matchup, and that's what helps win the game. Trey, you referenced Josh Freeman getting all the love. Well, Brian Price makes that play. The Atlanta Falcons have to kick a field goal, and then they never get the football back because you're able to run it out. So that defensive line setting the tone for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Adrian Claiborne, really special young player out of Webster Groves High School in St. Louis, Missouri. And then there's the Colts defense. Listen, everyone was really surprised with how well they played in that Sunday night loss a week ago to the Pittsburgh Steelers. But they brought their A game, and they were coming off the edges.
The only thing good about Peyton Manning not playing is we're talking about so many other things.
Right.
And the defensive line, bring it in here a little close. I like this close-up look. The defensive line for the Indianapolis Colts, if you think of two words, you got disruption and penetration. And we already heard about what penetration does in the running game. Well, watch these guys. They get it so much credit in the passing game. But I want you to look at the running game. Off the edge, look how quick they're in the backfield. The reason penetration is the number one kill in the running game, it defines where your runner's going to go. You take away and neutralize his instincts, and therefore he becomes just a ball player, not a runner or a factor back, boys. Now, look at this. when they get hot, they're just going to bring 4. You know you're getting pressure, so what do the Steelers do? They keep it back in. They got 6 to block 4. Ben Roethlisberger has about 0.02 seconds, and trust me, folks, you need more than that to throw the football. So Josh Freeman tonight, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, that is really what the Colts have to do tonight as well. They got to be so disruptive in the passing game, disruptive in the running game. They got to keep them off schedule. They've got to do that the entire game to help that offense as well.
Yeah, they're going to crash the corners of that offensive line. Now, if you're a Colts fan, you're thinking, hey, look, man, we've won 9 of our last 10 Monday Night Football games. They're 9-1.
We're good.
Here's the one problem with that stat. There's one big difference. Peyton Manning isn't playing. We'll see if they can overcome it, maybe have an epic comeback like we had 8 years ago when these teams met on 2003, and the Colts came back from 21 down with 4 minutes to play and win in overtime 38-35. Just getting warmed up here on NFL Primetime. If anyone has found the Jets rushing offense or rushing defense, please send it immediately to Florham Park, because it is MIA right now. Also just ahead, rushing game for the Raiders, no problem for New England. A defensive effort from New England on the road on the West Coast. Plus, Cam Newton continues to play well, but the results for the Panthers, not what they were looking for. They did bear down in Chicago.
NFL Primetime is presented by Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Here we go. And in part by DirecTV. This season, NFL Sunday Ticket is included at no extra charge when you switch. Call 1-800-DirecTV.
Football lives here. Coverage starts with College Game Day, Saturday at 1500 CET, live on ESPN America.
Coming off a season filled with injuries in 2009, Michael Turner regained his form in 2010. Known for his powerful running and elusive moves, Turner rushed for over 1,300 yards and registered 8 100-yard games. It was his second 1,300-plus yard season in the last 3 years, as Turner earned his second Pro Bowl berth. In 2011, the Falcons feature back will look to help the team get over their 6-year winless drought in the playoffs and reach the Super Bowl.
Breed down the sideline, has a man, touchdown, Jimmy Graham. Breed stepping up, end zone, touchdown. In a while since the Saints converted a 2-point attempt. Breed rolling, throwing, got it to Lance Moore. Shaw, under pressure, throws it, almost intercepted. Here's a penalty marker down. Kevin Walker has the football.
In his effort to try to grab it, he kept it off the ground, and it ends up going right to Walter.
From the 13-yard line, Ingram to the 10, to the 5, touchdown. Reed rolling out, same play. They didn't have a 2-point conversion since 07. They do it twice today.
Welcome back to NFL Primetime, presented by Bud Light.
And welcome back to Primetime. Trey Wingo here with Merrill Hodge and Tim Hasselbeck. Well, Sunday night, Rex Ryan and the Jets went to Baltimore. It was the first time Rex went back to Baltimore since he left there as the defensive coordinator to be the Jets head coach. Mark Sanchez warming up, trying to get things going. They did. They went going the wrong way. First possession. Hello, Ed Reed. Ball hawking still at this savvy age. It's a strip sack fumble, and Jameel McClain comes in for the score. Timmy, never had a chance.
Never had a chance, and really that's on Mark Sanchez. They didn't have a blocker for Ed Reed. He's got to get rid of the football.
You might want to block him. All right, then Sanchez fumbles the snap from Colin Baxter, Tim.
Yeah, and you look at it, Mark Sanchez's hands are there. Maybe it came a little early. Hit your hands, you're expected to hold on to the football.
Mangold, we need you.
Yes, Nick Mangold not playing while Colin Baxter is in. They're working out Matt Slauson at center. And then Sanchez from the shotgun can't handle the snap. Paul Kruger recovers, and you see this one. He's ready for it. It just bounces off his hands.
Yeah, you got to be able to handle the snap from under center, from shotgun, not going well in New York.
It would continue to not go well. Haloti nada. You say goodbye, I say haloti. Another fumble. Jarrett Johnson, gobble, gobble. Merrill, aggressive play by the D-line.
Well, these guys do such a good job up front with their stunts and twists. They put a huge burden on your entire offensive line.
It was ruled a fumble for the touchdown. That made it 27-7. Now, Joe McKnight, the running back, comes in. Is he a factor back here, Merrill, on this blitz?
No, because he doesn't know how to hit a quarterback. What the heck?
Didn't want a penalty.
I know, he probably got
He's worried about
They told me to get here, but they didn't say how to finish.
Yes, but David Harris with the pick six. We had all kinds of returns for scores in this game. It's 27-14. More turnovers, 3rd and 9. Did I hear a Niner in there? Aaron Maven comes up. It's a fumble. The Jets ball inside the Ravens 30. They just re-signed him. Okay, ensuing drive. First play for the Jets. How about another return? Oh, that's just a flotation device, Tim, out there, and it's picked up by Lardarius Webb, and he's gone.
Yeah, and Plexico Burress really should have been blocking Lardarius Webb on the bubble screen. He didn't, and that's how Webb was able to jump the route. You see Mark Sanchez takes a hit on the throw. Here comes Webb to pick it off.
And again, the penetration up there in front with Terrell Suggs. It was a 34-17 beatdown the Ravens put on the Jets. Meanwhile, Patriots and Raiders. New England all the way cross country, trying to avoid their first 2-game losing streak in 2009. It helps when you have Tom Brady and Wes Welker can do this. What a great play design.
Yeah. Listen, just a little flat, and what Wes Welker's able to do to get open and then finish is remarkable.
15-yard score, Patriots up 7-3. Brady has a day and a half to throw, and Wes Welker finds it and then turns on the Jets for a gain of 21. This with them down 10-7. And then what an unbelievable play by Welker. Again, all day to throw, and that's just a great back shoulder.
Yeah, great getting your feet down as well.
I mean, for a little guy, though, a back shoulder throw to a little guy is so difficult. Excellent job.
They ruled him inbounds. The Patriots would later score to up 14-10. As for Jason Campbell, Herm Edwards said in 2 games with bad defenses, it comes down to the quarterback. 2nd and goal. Jason Campbell throws it to Patrick Chung, who makes a great catch. Only problem is he plays for the opposing team. It looks as if Campbell's trying to throw it away.
I am speechless.
He had to be confused and think that he had a different jersey.
Okay, so maybe he just didn't see Patrick
Let's
Chung.
hope he didn't do it on purpose.
He didn't see
boys.
Patrick Chung. How can you not see Vince Wilfork? Vince Wilfork Island once again.
Is that 2 interceptions?
That is 2.
For Big Wilfork?
Unbelievable.
Contact.
I'll give you can't see Patrick Chung. You've got to see 6'6", 340 pounds. As for Stephen Ridley, pretty good impressive. They did a nice job running the ball, the Patriots did.
You know what, last week he flashed. Even though they lost, he flashed on tape. He is a guy that's going to be more prominent in their offense. 33-yard touchdown there to make it 24-10, and then a 20-yard run here. He had 97 rushing yards on 10 carries. Pats win 31-19. All right, the team that beat the Patriots the previous week, unbeaten Buffalo, last unbeaten team in the AFC on the road in Cincinnati. 2nd quarter game tied at 3. Brian Scott of the Bills had an earlier strip sack fumble taken away because of the tuck rule. He says, fine, you take that one away? I'm just taking this one, and back into the house. It bounces off the leg of Andre Caldwell. We have had more crazy bounces in the first month of this season than I remember ever in the start of an NFL season.
Bills up 10-3. Okay, Bills leading 20-13, 3rd and 1. Stevie Johnson makes the catch on the slant route. It's ruled incomplete. Johnson doesn't believe it in the Bills' challenge. As we take a look, and it sure looked like a catch. He tweeted later, hard to win an NFL game when you're playing 11 versus 16. I'm just saying. He later said, well, he sort of took that.
I gotta tell you what, I don't know how they ruled that.
I don't understand it either. Bills forced to punt. Ensuing Bengals drive, Andy Dalton, who did not start playing well in this game, with 3-yard touchdown. We're tied at 20. Later in the 4th, same score. It's 3rd and 3 for Cincinnati. Dalton, one more time, nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. It's 3rd and 3, and either the yellow line was off by a mile or something's not right, because Marvin Lewis challenges the spot. And on review, it looks like he got there, so the spot is overturned and they've got a first down, so that's why they say the yellow line is unofficial. And then Jersey pride for Brian Leonard out of Rutgers. Takes the handoff up the middle for a gain of 14. So the Bengals down to their last chance, 4 seconds left to win this game and end the Bills' perfect start to the season. And Mike Nugent, cat scratch fever for the Bengals. They take down Buffalo 23-20. Lots more coming on this edition of NFL Primetime. And if Ben Roethlisberger saw any more rushers coming at him, he might not have made it out of Texas against the Texans in Houston. Speaking of quarterbacks battered and beat up, once again, Michael Vick took some shots in this game, and the last shots fired by the San Francisco 49ers, one of many great comebacks. It's all ahead.
Monday Night Football live on ESPN America. In Week 4, NFC and AFC forces collide as the Colts sail into Tampa Bay. With Peyton out, the Bucs will be gunning to take down their much weakened opposition. Can the rudderless Colts make a stand and turn their season around? Or will the ever-hungry Buccaneers taste the spoils of victory? It all starts tonight at 0100 CET with Monday Night Countdown. Monday Night Football live on ESPN America, home of the NFL.
I called the president. President, we need a National Guard. We need as many men as you can spare because we are killing the Patriots. So call the dogs off. Send the National Guard, please. They need emergency help. Please help these folks. They're coming. Help is on the way. Help is on the way.
In only 4 seasons, the dominating Dallas Cowboys walked away with 3 Super Bowl wins. In Super Bowl 27, Dallas took on the Buffalo Bills. MVP Troy Aikman threw 4 touchdowns to secure Dallas's 3rd win in 6 trips to the Super Bowl. 1 year later, Aikman and his Cowboys met Buffalo for a rematch. Emmitt Smith, the game's MVP, rushed for 132 yards and 2 touchdowns to hand the Buffalo Bills their 4th consecutive Super Bowl defeat. In 1996, Dallas went in pursuit of yet another NFL championship. The game turned in the Cowboys' favor as cornerback Larry Brown's 2 key interceptions both culminated in Dallas touchdowns, the second of which came in the final minutes of the game to lock up the win for Dallas.
In rugby, you can guarantee there'll be blood, sweat, but no tears. Rain will never stop play. Johnny will get it over when it really matters. And with guts comes the glory. And now you can also guarantee there's one website that's in the thick of it with big stories, highlights, news and views. ESPNScrum.com. Total Rugby guarantee.
Welcome back to Primetime. I'm Wendy Nix in Tampa. The Bucs quarterback situation could hardly differ more than that of the Colts. The Bucs have the benefit of one of the NFL's young emerging stars in Josh Freeman, a quarterback Rondé Barber calls the real deal and the unquestioned leader of this football team. The stat sheet might not show it yet, said Barber, but when the going gets tough, we want number 5 to have the ball. And in fact, Freeman is better in the clutch. 8 of his 15 career victories have come in 4th quarter or overtime comebacks, prompting fans here in Tampa to hold up signs that read, "Play like it's the 4th quarter." Trey?
Don't forget to watch NFL 32 weekdays, 6 o'clock Eastern on ESPN2. It's our new interactive, informative show, Susie and Mort. NFL 32 weekdays, 6 o'clock on ESPN2.
I love those guys.
We all love those guys. Eagles, 49ers. This one, for a long time, went really well for the home team. Not for all of it. Michael Vick trying to avoid the first 3-game losing streak for the Eagles since 2007. Now, this is a play only Michael Vick can make. Are you kidding me? And then he finds Clay Harbor wide open.
Must-see TV.
He's great.
And listen, you look at Michael Vick, this is what you get out of it.
It's
you
ridiculous.
Get some plays that he doesn't see it well, but then you get stuff like this where it's a get-out-of-jail card, finds Clay Harbor in the end zone.
7-0, the Eagles take the lead. All right, goal line has always been an issue for the Eagles. 3rd and goal, Ronnie Brown. I get it. Maybe it was an option play pass, but you can't throw it as you're being tackled, can you?
Well, yes, you can, and you try to save yourself a few inches.
Yeah.
Listen, that's a design. He had an option to throw the football. You also have to question the design of the play.
Agreed. Okay, so the Eagles turn the ball over. 42 seconds remaining in the 2nd quarter, 3rd and goal from the 5. Vick calls an audible. Shovel pass to LaShawn McCoy, and LaShawn McCoy is in for a touchdown. So despite the setbacks there with Ronnie Brown, it's 20-3 at the half. They're still in good shape. All right, they're up 23-3 in the second half. The Niners are down by 20 when Alex Smith says, guys, let's start playing. 2nd and 8. Nice planting on the seam to Josh Morgan for a 30-yard touchdown. It's 23-10. Okay, 3:03 remaining in the third. Still 23-10. Smith to Vernon Davis, and he just muscles his way in.
Boy, no, working linebackers and safeties at the core of that defense.
23-17. Okay, remember they let David Akers go, who played in San Francisco now, and he actually missed one. Alex Henry. Sorry, guys, missed it. Jim Harbaugh says it's no good. Oh, well, we'll get him next time. He missed 2 field goals, so that kept it at 23-17. Now, the Eagles couldn't stop anybody on the ground. Frank Gore and company had not been getting going, and he got going against that Eagles defense. A 25-yard game, and he kept it going, Merrill, on this touchdown.
Well, you know, they put so much pressure on their tackles and their inside backers that when you get movement there, the ends are so wide, it is easy. Still here and still there, and just a minor alley.
Yeah, they took a review on this, and as you can see, did a great job of not putting anything down on the ground before the ball crossed the plane. So the Niners take a 24-23 lead. Hustle play of the day, 2:15 remaining. Michael Vick, great play design to Jeremy Maclin, but look at defensive lineman Justin Smith come from behind and strip the ball.
And this is what Jim Harbaugh is bringing to that organization. Look at the fight in the pursuit by Justin Smith to get that ball out. You see here's the wide receiver screen out to Jeremy Maclin. Look where Justin Smith comes from, chases him down from behind, and then swipes at that football. Tremendous effort.
Golston with the recovery. Eagles do have a 3-game losing streak. The Niners are 3-1, 24-23. Let us go inside the numbers, and if they could just play 3 quarters, the Eagles would be great. But in their 3-game losing streak, the Eagles have led entering the 4th quarter, but they've been outscored 36-0 in the 4th quarter in those 3 games. They've committed 3 turnovers. While not forcing a single one, they're 2-8 on 3rd down in the 4th quarter, while their 3 opponents are 9 of 14 on 3rd down conversions in the 4th quarter. They always say it's not how you start, it's how you finish, and how the Eagles are finishing is defining their season right now. 1-3, all the hype in the offseason, Tim. Is it time to panic in Philadelphia?
I don't think it's time to panic. I mean, we're only a quarter of the way through the season, and there's still plenty of talent on this football team. You know, all types of speed on offense. Defensively, surely they can improve. They have a new defensive coordinator. There's cause for concern, and you want to see them improving. We haven't really seen that yet, but I think it's way too early to panic on this football team.
You should be panicking in Philadelphia, without a question.
Merrill, we didn't have a buzzer, so Merrill brought his own.
Because his time limit was up, and obviously the buzzer didn't go, so I thought I would let it go. I don't think there's any question that you have to panic in Philadelphia, because yesterday you got beat doing exactly how you're built to play. As far as getting better or improving, that is what you are. That's how they're going to throw the football. That's how they're going to play defense. And if there's anything learned from yesterday to the advantage of opponents that are going to watch tape on this, is the 49ers never jumped out of character, ever. They just stayed with their plan. They still did the things they're good at. And they didn't get caught up in being down by 20 because they knew the Philadelphia would go 3-and-out at times in the passing game. Give them more opportunities, and you're going to get big plays in the running game and the passing game and have a chance to win.
Listen, if you're going to panic, that means you have to change something. What
why would you have to change? Panic doesn't. Listen, I read the dictionary. It says you have to change.
Well, so what do you do? Just panic and
yeah, you just send panic everywhere, and then you make everybody play.
Have to change.
Just so you understand, Merrill has now brought an imaginary buzzer and an imaginary dictionary to NFL.
Isn't it? I love this dictionary. I'll let you read
it. It's a fine edition. I've never seen it before. But
you never will, Dave.
Here's the biggest problem for the Eagles, okay? Everybody's been running on them. And teams like the Giants and the Rams and the Falcons, they're good running teams. Mm-hmm. The Niners were 30th running the ball offensively coming into this game, and they just ground out the clock when they absolutely had to have it. Doesn't get any easier. Next come the Buffalo Bills for the Philadelphia Eagles. All right, lots more coming on NFL Primetime, including some more imaginary objects for Merrill. It was an imaginary win for the Cowboys, who suffered their own epic collapse at the hand of the Lions. What an amazing comeback for Detroit. No comeback needed for Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. He just had a real dreamy day. It's all ahead.
Inside the Numbers is brought to you by Visa. More people go with Visa.
Well, I think that'll do it.
What?
most of this liquid will just evaporate and the floorboards are just going to absorb everything else. So, yeah, have a good one.
Looking, getting hit by Wake, and he got sacked. It's Cameron Wake again. Cameron Wake is there and throws to the ground.
Well, what a rush by Cameron Wake. And the rush on Brady, and he sacked. Cameron Wake is just having himself a heck of a game.
After a mediocre start to his career, Denver's Brandon Lloyd became one of the league's top threats. In his first 7 seasons, Lloyd totaled 15 touchdowns and didn't come close to recording 1,000 yards receiving. In 2010, he led the league with nearly 1,500 receiving yards and caught 11 touchdowns while earning his first Pro Bowl invitation. If Lloyd continues to play like he did last season, he should help the Broncos get out of the AFC West basement and back on track to winning the division.
From exotic escapes to spa indulgences to golf getaways, you'll discover your perfect retreat at Starwood Hotels and Resorts' brand new website, spg.com/resorts. Book your dream vacation at one of more than 200 amazing resorts and take advantage of our best rate guarantee. More luxury, more destinations. spg.com/resorts.
I'm Michael Kim. Coming up tonight on SportsCenter, some huge comebacks on the road are featured in our NFL coverage. Find out if the Bills and Lions remain undefeated through 4 games. In baseball, Albert Pujols and the Cardinals look to gain a split of their games in Philly as they face Cliff Lee, while St. Louis native Max Scherzer tries to lead the Tigers to a Game 2 win against the Yankees. Plus, who's on top in the chase for the Sprint Cup? That and much more tonight on SportsCenter.
My goodness, what a cutback. The 15, 10, 5, touchdown, Arian Foster.
Throws end zone up for grabs. Calvin, did he catch it? Oh, baby, he did it again. Down the sideline for Nixon, who makes the catch for the touchdown.
Devin Hester. You are ridiculous. Vincent Jackson diving catch. Touchdown, San Diego. Absolutely phenomenal.
Well, perhaps the wildest game of the day and the wildest game in Cowboys and Lions history. And for the first half, Tony Romo was on fire. First quarter, there is no score. Romo lays it up perfectly to Dez Bryant. Oh, that's easy. Cowboys up 7-0. Second quarter, same score. Romo to Lauren Robinson. Again, no Miles Austin. And, well, he was burning Chris Houston for most of this game. 116 yards for Robinson on the day in receiving. And then one more time, Romo to Dez. Out muscles his way in the end zone. It's 14-0. They were on cruise control. And after this little flip to Jason Witten in the third quarter, the Cowboys were up 27-3. All hail Tony Romo. At this point, Romo having an unbelievable game. 3 touchdown passes, 234 passing yards. His total QBR a robust 97. And the Cowboys looked like they were well on their way to going 3-1 and handing the Lions their first loss. But sadly for Tony, they played the rest of the game. All right, third quarter, they're still up 27-3. Tony Romo dropping back and trying to fire this one into Dez, and Bobby Carpenter, the former Cowboy, picks it off. By the way, Carpenter was a groomsman in Tony Romo's wedding. If I'm Tony, I'm saying I want the groomsman gift back because I gave you this.
That's provided he gave him one.
It is, he did. It's a pick 6, the fumble, they crossed the goal line, so that made it 27-10. Next Cowboys possession. Are you kidding me? Houston, who had been so picked on early, comes back, gobble, gobble, and that's a second pick 6. And just like that, a 24-point lead is down to 10. Tim.
Tony Romo was expecting Robinson to cross Houston's face, fight through the contact, at least break it up. Houston's able to jump in front of it, and you see the frustration on Romo's face.
All right, they had kept Megatron silent throughout this game. But here, Matthew Johnson down 30-7. Matthew Stafford looking for Calvin down 30-17. There are 3 people around him, and he still comes up with the grab. Come on.
What do you do?
I mean,
what do you?
The best part is this is
Look,
him throwing up his hand. I'm open.
Yeah.
3 people here.
This is not just
it
one
doesn't
time.
matter. It doesn't matter.
Every week there's a play like this, and it's for something critical in the game.
That made it 30-24. So now under 4 to play, under 4.5 to play. Tony off his back foot, over the middle, picked off by Stephen Tulloch. Tim.
There's just no reason for it. The situation of the game is actually going the right place with the football. He's not able to step into the throw when he hurts his football team.
3 interceptions on the day the Lions take over. You know who they're going to.
Why not?
Hey, try and stop him. Calvin Johnson, gain of 9. Later on the drive, they're going that way again. It's Calvin Johnson. And then the touchdown to seal it off. 3, 2, and 1. And there's the seal. 4 straight games with at least 2 touchdowns. The Lions come roaring back from 24 down. It all came crashing down after that great start. In the last 27 minutes of the game, Romo threw 3 interceptions, 2 of which were returned for touchdowns. The Cowboys scored just 3 points, and Romo's quarterback rating during that stretch was a dismal 4.0. You know, you can make a very convincing argument that Tony Romo has won the Cowboys 2 games and he has lost the Cowboys 2 games. Have you guys ever remembered a single player in the NFL whose pendulum swings wilder back and forth from game to game or half to half than Tony Romo?
Absolutely not. And I definitely can't find a guy who the team is paying $10 million a year to be the franchise quarterback, to trust that he's going to make good decisions. And when I watch Tony Romo, I just don't know that he understands the magnitude of the situation of the game when he's playing. He certainly understands it when he talks about it after the game. But look at this here. On 1st and 10, you're up 24 points. Bobby Carpenter right in the throwing lane. You got Phillips, your other tight end, right underneath, wide open. You just can't make it. It's inexplicable. You look at this here. Look at exactly what he's looking at. Bobby Carpenter right in the throwing lane. Check it down. You have 2nd and 5. You're on schedule with a huge lead in the football game. Inexplicable from Tony Romo, much like we saw from the Jets game. And then here, he's going the right place with the football. Jason Witten doesn't have anybody over the top, but he sees it late. He's not able to step into the throw. And he hangs it up there in a game with about 4 minutes left when you're up 3 points. To turn the football over in your own end is absolutely inexcusable. And I truly believe this. Tony Romo was phenomenal at the beginning part of that game. But until he understands how important it is to not take those chances and understand how important it is to protect the football, they have to consider all their options at the quarterback position, which may mean letting him watch John Kitna play a little bit.
Because, you think it's time to bench him?
You can't do that in 4 games.
You're not going to let the Eagles panic, but you're going to bench Tony Romo?
I'm not saying bench Tony, but you have to make sure that he understands how he's hurting his football team by doing that.
Now, I will agree with that. We look at the Jet game and this game. Here's the thing that it's kind of been the history of Tony Romo. It's his second half adjustments he's not adjusting to. Teams adjust. Cowboys were doing what they wanted at will against the Lions. Well, they made some adjustments. And I think Tony Romo doesn't make those adjustments. You know, he thinks he made a throw in the first half. I can make that throw in the second half. Not realizing they're going to change.
Yeah, to that point, all 5 of his interceptions this season have come after the break. Meanwhile, hey, give Detroit all the credit in the world. They hung in there, and they found a way to get it done with another epic comeback second straight week.
Well, you know, and the Cowboys really neutralized the front 4 of the Detroit Lions. You know, as good as I've seen anybody do it all year. When you can take care of Ndamukong Suh, and he's really not a factor in your game, you've done a great job with play calling and design. But late in the game, Ndamukong Suh starts to get his mojo on. And he may not be the guy who makes the play, but he creates so many opportunities, especially for their edge rushers. Every week I see a play just like you're about to see. Now, be careful because I love that sound. Watch Willie Young here, the club. How he just, decleats a tackle that outweighs him by about 40 pounds. And the reason he gets that one-on-one matchup is because of the focus of Ndamukong Suh down in the trenches. He is constantly double teamed. Very, very seldom will you ever see just one guy on him. If there is one guy on him, the guy who was free is out of his head on a swivel looking for Ndamukong Suh. Those edge rushers for Detroit, they make plays after play like this each and every week. That's not an isolated incident.
No.
Every week there's stuff like this.
First 4-0 start for Detroit since 1980. The first team in NFL history, back-to-back 20-point comeback wins. They had a 20-pointer and now a 24-pointer. We said this all along. This could be the most important game in Texans franchise history. Steelers in town. They're up 7-0. That 7-0, by the way, was an 11-minute drive that went 95 yards. But then Andre Johnson, boy, You thought the worst here when you saw him fall down with no contact. They're calling it a hamstring issue. He would return to the sidelines, but did not come back to the game. As for Arian Foster, the guy who used to have the hamstring issue, well, it looks like the anti-awesome white stuff is finally out of there because these are some nice moves, Merrill.
Yeah, usually Troy Polamalu gets in your backfield. He disrupts, blows up things, but what a great job by Foster. Quick feet. Look at that. If you want to be a great runner in the National Football League, this is what you have to have first. Quickness, a lateral movement, the agility, not just speed.
Yeah, 19 carries, 94 yards in the first half. Early fourth, game tied at 10. As the Texans are prone to do, they sort of let people hang around. And they did here, but Foster cuts it back for a 42-yard score. Again, great play design and a great move by Arian Foster.
Well, look at the backside. Look how far it's collapsed down. Let's see where Arian Foster's is touched right there, just by a couple hands. But aside from that, what, 42 yards later?
30 carries, a buck, 55, and a touchdown. As for Ben Roethlisberger, under duress doesn't even begin to explain it to him.
No, they're banged up front, and they were getting after him, hit all day long.
Not once, not twice, 6, 7, 8 times, a little slow there. And you see, watch his foot there sort of get rolled under the ankle. He stayed in the game, but again, when they left the game, he was wearing a walking boot. And then this play, it got a penalty here, but J.J. Watt, the young rookie, as it's picked off by Jonathan Joseph, it's called back because they went low. Tim, you don't like
Listen, they say it's the Brady rule. Look where he makes contact with Ben Roethlisberger. It looks bad as he slides down his leg, but originally makes contact around Ben's hip. Don't like the call.
The problem was they were making contact with Ben all over the place. Last chance, down 7, and Jason Allen is there to pick it off. The Texans pass the test. They're 3-1, 17-10. Merrill, what do you know?
Trey, no offensive line is having more issues in all of football than the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm going to show you a play from the Texans game, and what I'm going to show you is a very vanilla, generic stunt pressure. But let's look at how many issues the Steelers have up front just trying to get a pass off. Now, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to look at a couple pressures. Guys at the line of scrimmage. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those are the 5 guys that are going to come. I'm going to give you a 0 here and a 0 here simply because these are guys at the line of scrimmage. So the reason the Texans do this, they want to make you confuse and think a little bit. A lot of people are going to come. However, only a couple guys are going to come. There's going to be a stunt here, right here, pressure on the outside, a one-on-one linebacker, and a one-on-one matchup right here with the tackle. Very vanilla, very generic. Now, as we snap the ball, look what happens right away. All right, immediately, this tackle goes inside here. Look at the center. His shoulders are turned parallel. He cannot take this blitzer coming around here. You have a one-on-one matchup here. Feel good about it. You're guard and a linebacker. But as we go further, look what happens. The stunt and twist works. You got a tackle. Think about this, a tackle on a running back. Your linebacker beat a guard, and your other tackle has beat the center. When you lose that quick at your quarterback, it is impossible to throw the football. And the issues don't just exist in the passing game, Trey. They exist in the running game as well.
There are major issues all the way around. Meanwhile, Broncos, Packers, Aaron Rodgers, has he had a better day? History says no. How about this? Down 3-0. Boy, Tim, just the way he was going deep to Jordy Nelson.
As soon as they rolled the pocket, you just didn't know if it was Jordy Nelson or if it was Greg Jennings or Donald Driver. You just knew this is what the result was going to be.
And you want to do it every week.
Yes,
they have that action every week.
At that point. And how about Charles Woodson? Come on. Still playing at this level. Pick 6 from 30 yards out. It's like he knew where the play was coming. Look, he called the coverage.
He actually did. He knew this route combination was coming.
You can tell he did the way he ran underneath that route by Eric Decker.
His 11th interception for a touchdown, tied for second all time. Packers up 14-3. And then they go surprise on sides. They are leaving nothing in the basket. They take over at their own 48, and that just means more Aaron Rodgers. And this is just fantastic, whether it's throwing or running.
Yeah, you look at this here. This is probably what separates him from other guys in terms of his athleticism, making plays like that.
That's a pretty good throw to Greg Jennings for 17 yards, 28-17. Listen, I run it in once. I'm going to run it in again, if that's okay. And again, body control to never stay down, much like Frank Gore.
Back to back?
Nice.
Back to back?
It could be.
Back to
back? It could be, especially finishing like that.
I love
back to
quarterback. Says it could be.
Do we have that?
How about this one, Tim, to James Jones? Are you kidding?
This is absolutely insane. James Jones goes around the defender. This ball is already out. That's the primetime dime. The E is silent. Yes, it is. Unbelievable.
Rodgers, the first player ever with 400 yards passing, 4 passing touchdowns, and here's another one to Driver and 2 rushing scores. Wear the belt with pride. 49-23. When we continue on this edition of NFL Primetime, the Giants are very happy with the way the refs called the game in Arizona. The Cardinals cannot say the same thing. Cam Newton, another impressive performance, but again, in Chicago, it was not enough to walk out with what mattered most.
It is the new season, and we are set for football.
And here we go.
NFL all season long, live on ESPN America HD.
Slowly but surely, I'm feeling comfortable in this offense, and it's just one less thing that I have to think about each particular practice. If I feel like I can get that 100% through this offense, watch out.
He came in, he was enthusiastic like all college draft picks are, and as things have gone, you see the seriousness and maturity level. If there is one thing about Cam that I found personally was how hard he is on himself.
In just his 3rd season, the Falcons' Matt Ryan emerged as one of the NFL's elite quarterbacks. He was named to his first Pro Bowl and set new career highs with 28 touchdowns and over 3,700 passing yards. Ryan led the Falcons to a 13-3 record, the best in the NFC. With Ryan under center in 2011, the Falcons will be NFC contenders once again.
Here they are, the national panel.
Every day I lose, I die just a little.
Around the Horn is my favorite to do.
Let's go to work.
He's not that popular.
Why'd you have to go get Woody all riled up?
Get over it.
It's not over, it's just beginning.
Don't miss Around the Horn, weekdays on ESPN America.
Welcome back to Primetime. I'm Wendy Nix in Tampa. Not since 1998, Peyton Manning's rookie season have the Colts started 0-3. It's been a shock to the system of an Indianapolis culture predicated on winning. Dallas Clark admits the veterans have turned to each other asking, how are you really handling this? This is new to us. Still, the Colts are equally emphatic that they have not and will not write off the season. Said Vice President and General Manager Chris Polian, if Andrew Luck is the first pick in the draft, hopefully we don't have a chance to get him. We still believe we're better than that. Trey?
Primetime rolls on with the Giants in Arizona, of course, where they won Super Bowl 42. Ken Wisnett and company trying to scratch out a win for the home team. Fourth quarter, Cardinals up 20-17. Beanie Wells gets a great block and takes off and picks up 39 yards and dishing out punishment to Kenny Phillips on the way, and Kevin Cobb is pumped up. Later in the possession, Beanie Wells, 1, 2, 3 of these. Matthias Kiwanuka with a tough angle there. Cardinals go up by 10, 27-17. You think they're on cruise control, but as we know, the NFL no lead is safe. Here we go. They're down by 10. It is 1st and goal, and Eli Manning to Jake Ballard. Tight end makes a great catch in the back of the end zone. Ruled the touchdown would go under review. Tim, right call?
Yeah, it is the right call. Jake Ballard doing a nice job of reacting to the ball thrown behind him by Eli. You see there's the left foot, the right foot comes down before he's out of bounds.
Okay, so let's make sure we're saying they made the right call there, okay? After the Cardinals go 3 and out, 1st and 10 for the Giants. Eli Manning scrambling around. We've seen him do that before in Arizona to Victor Cruz, and Victor Cruz sort of stumbles, falls down, leaves the ball on the ground. This is not college. You got to be tapped down. The Cardinals say, we have the ball, but wait a minute. Wisnut throws the challenge flag because the refs say, no, he was down. He gave himself up. As you take another look, does he give himself up?
I think he looks inside, he sees the defensive back coming, and he goes down.
Yeah, but does that mean he's giving himself up? Because here's the rule.
What the rule says.
Here's the rule. When a runner is out of bounds or declares himself down by falling to the ground or kneeling and making no effort to advance.
How do the defenders know that he was giving himself up?
We saw a playoff game a couple years ago. Marvin Harrison rolled on the ground. 2 Broncos rolled by him. Nobody touched him. Boom, he got up and ran for a touchdown.
Yeah, but he wasn't trying to. He actually set the ball down and was heading back.
If he would have gotten up and run, they would have given him the 3 more yards that he got up by getting up and running.
However, after the review, the call on the field would be upheld. The Giants keep the ball. Eli Manning said afterwards, we kind of got a break on that one. And then Akeem Nicks got a break for fantasy owners right there, a huge 29-yard touchdown. The Giants take the lead, 31-27. And the Giants defense trying to respond. And how about O.C. Umenyiora? Making his first start of the year, gets a sack on Kevin Cobb, a loss of 10 yards. Tom Coughlin fired up. And then on 4th and 2, here's the game. Cobb looking for Larry Fitzgerald. And look at this play by Corey Webster, Merrill.
That's the way you get your hand inside, but not your right hand, so there's no pass interference.
None whatsoever. Controversy in Arizona, but the Giants hang on to win 31-27. Meanwhile, Panthers and Bears. Devin Hester and the Bears taking on Cam and Carolina. Second quarter, a lot more offense than we thought in this game. Tied at 10. 109 yards in. You don't want to take it out unless you're Devin Hester. 73 yards. Eventually, he'd be pushed out of bounds all the way at the Panthers' 35. The Bears would score a touchdown to go up 17-10. Now he takes the punt. So we've seen good kick return, Devin. How about good punt return? And boom. His 11th punt return for a touchdown in his career, adding to the new NFL record. The Bears lead 24-10. Devin Hester, as they say in Chicago, you are ridiculous. Meanwhile, Cam Newton doing his part. Panthers down 10-3. Cam fakes the handoff, has all kinds of time, rolls to his left. Look at the arm strength. Look, first of all, how is Steve Smith so wide open?
Takes the safety, busts it, they go inside. I will tell you this, the Carolina Panthers get more people wide open than any offense in football.
And then Cam just bowls his way into the end zone right there for a 2-yard score. That made it 24-17. Less than 2 minutes to go in the third. Newton to Steve Smith. The tough end there, hung, made the catch. He makes the catch and bounces off for a 22-yard gain. That would lead to a field goal to cut it to 24-23. Tim, what do you like about Cam?
Trey, we knew this guy was a phenomenal athlete getting ready to play in the NFL. What we didn't know was what an outstanding passer he would be early on. And that's really what has impressed me most about Cam Newton. Really, you look at some of the things he does that you expect out of a great athlete. Right here, the strength in the pocket. People had compared him to Ben Roethlisberger. Well, that's Roethlisberger-esque. He gets outside the pocket, but then the intelligence not to take that extra hit. That's a smart play by Cam Newton. He's going to get hit enough in the pocket, doesn't need to take one on the sideline. But then look at him as a passer. The poise in the pocket, gets fooled a little bit, but not eager to use his legs and go make a play. There's a calm about him, a presence about him, that he's not using that athletic ability just to get out and run with the football. But it's the polish as a passer that's also impressive. You look at Cam Newton here, climb through contact in the pocket, and then throw an absolute laser outside. And this is what I mean by polish. Left hand on the football as your right tackle gets beat, as you climb up through the pocket, left shoulder on your target, and you throw a strike. Blown away at how Cam Newton has played early on as a passer, Trey.
Yeah, Tim, he's been terrific. You know who else was really good in this game? Matt Forte. You know, last year he had a career-high 166 yards, I think, rushing against the Carolina Panthers. Merrill, he might want to schedule the Panthers all the time.
Or just, you know what, schedule called runs. Yeah. That's all you got to do, just give him the football.
How about like that?
Called runs.
Look at that, 40 yards down to the Panthers' 3-yard line. Merrill, does this get your seal of approval?
There's no question. We have a seal here and a seal there. We even have a dig out in the middle, right there. You want to dig that linebacker out, get him down on the ground. And this here is my seal of approval with an alley for all of us to run through.
And he had lots of those. 205 yards on the ground, 1 touchdown. Bears would go on to win 34-29, first 200-yard game of Forte's career. Pay the man in Chicago. When we continue on NFL Primetime. Oh, it's all smiles for Drew Brees and Darren Sproles and company as they continue to find ways to win. Meanwhile, the month has turned to October. So, of course, it's more likely that San Diego is going to win more games. We've got that on NFL Primetime.
Sunday Night Football live on ESPN America kicks off with our Week 5 triple header. First, we head to the NFC South as Cam Newton welcomes Drew Brees to Charlotte. Then, AFC rivals collide as Sanchez and the Jets touch down in New England. And Matt Ryan and the Falcons face a tough test against the green and gold. It all starts at 1600 CET with Sunday NFL Countdown. Sunday Night Football live on ESPN America, home of the NFL.
Let's go, boys. Hey, let's go,
In Super Bowl IV, the Kansas City Chiefs proved to the world that the AFL had pulled even with the NFL. Kansas City kicker Jan Stenerud connected on 3 field goals as the Chiefs led 9-0. Chiefs quarterback Len Dawson called a nearly flawless game, completing 12 of 17 passes and hitting Otis Taylor on a 46-yard play for Kansas City's final touchdown. With the help of a defense that held the Viking offense to only 67 total yards, the Chiefs proved they had come of age.
He got all of that one.
Well, he got all of that one, didn't he?
Aye.
He got all of that one. Yeah, he did.
Guess I got all that one.
Prince Fielder, epic power hitter.
You are watching NFL Primetime, presented by Bud Light.
Primetime rolls on with the Saints and Jaguars. First time the Saints have been to Jacksonville since 2003, that crazy game where they missed an extra point. They don't need extra points to win these days. Jimmy Graham! Touchdown from Drew Brees. Saints go up 7-0, and that's why he's a former hoops player. Right there.
And that we call a slam dunk.
Yeah, by the way, 31 straight games Drew Brees has thrown at least one touchdown pass. And then to Jimmy Graham again. Jimmy down, Jimmy like. Jimmy
6'6", 260. How do you defend that? You better have somebody 6'6", 262.
They don't. 10 grabs, 132 yards. As for Blaine Gabbert, up and down day, there's Zach Miller. Tough catch in traffic, 14-yard TD. Jags trail 14-7. Blaine Gabbert is fired up. Third quarter, Jaguars down 17-10. Blaine Gabbert threw that one into traffic, Tim. There are 3 Saints, and Patrick Robinson picks it off.
Yeah, ill-advised throw, really no business forcing the ball in there. Patrick Robinson there for the pick.
Gabbert 16 of 42, 196 yards, and the Saints win again, 23-10. Let us all enjoy the fine work of Matthew Hasselbeck and the Tennessee Titans taking on the Cleveland Browns. Remember no Kenny Bruce? Kenny Britt? What are they going to do? No problem? How about this to Jared Cook? And Jared Cook's got some wheels, Tim.
Yeah, underestimated the speed of Jared Cook on the angle there. Just an over route, and he's able to take it 80 yards for the touchdown.
Titans up 14-6. Later, Matthew Hasselbeck to Nate Washington. Pride of Tiffin University. 57 yards, takes it to the Cleveland foe. On the very next play, Matthew to Damian Williams, and that's a nice touchdown. Nice touchdown. Matthew 10 of 20, 222 yards, but 3 scores. As for Colt McCoy, under duress. And what's the name of Jordan Babineau? What's his nickname, Tim?
Big Play Babs.
And there it is. Not much bigger than this as he is going bye-bye. 97 yards on the pick 6. Titans are 3-1, everybody. Tennessee wins 31-13. So clearly the way they're playing and the fact that they took Jake Locker means that they are not down on their luck in Tennessee, as if Andrew Luck might fall their way. Other teams cannot be the same. Now the Chargers have Phillip Rivers. They're fine. The Dolphins trying to avoid an 0-4 start. 7-0, they're down. Vincent Jackson, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? And runs in for the score. Game tied at 7. By the way, Vincent Jackson had 108 receiving yards with 8.5 minutes to play in the first quarter, and he ended with 108 receiving yards.
They took him out of the game.
Yeah. Again, when they went to him, it was big money. Another one able to stay in bounds and get 2 feet down. 3 catches for 108 yards and a touchdown. At least Miami found a way to defend him later because he was looking at all kinds of records with the start he got off to there. As for Chad Henne, looks on after being injured, and Matt Moore in there. And does the ball just seem to find Eric Weddle? He's one of those guys, right? Just seems to find him.
Brian Scott, Eric Weddle, Everson Walls.
Yeah, Everson Walls, absolutely true. Chargers go on to win 26-16. Miami 0-4 into the bye week. All right, here we go. Matt Castle, 0-3. Vikings, Donovan McNabb, 0-3. Second quarter, Chiefs down 7-3, 3rd and goal. And, well, that's just a volleyball play. Bumps that spike. Now, Todd Haley has a scorched tongue policy. You know, wherever he always likes confrontation, gets in a little here with Matt Castle. Matt Castle does not appreciate it, but perhaps he responded to it, Tim?
Looks like he did, because that's a pretty nice throw right there.
A throw to Bo. Dwayne for a 28-yard gain. Castle's fired up, kick another field goal to lead 15-10. Yeah, he's fired up. That's what I'm talking about now, Coach. Fourth quarter, same score. Chiefs near midfield. Castle. Well, now he's wide open. He is wide open. But Bo with some nice moves. Escapes 2 defenders for a 52-yard score. Chiefs up 22-10. They would go on to win 22-17. The Vikings still winless. When we continue on NFL Primetime, time to hand out the hardware. Primetime performers. Who gets them for Week 4? This is NFL Primetime.
NFL Primetime is presented by Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Here we go.
Football lives here. Coverage starts with College Game Day, Saturday at 1500 CET, live on ESPN America.
The San Francisco 49ers took the San Diego Chargers by storm in Super Bowl 29.
To the right, and a play fake. Young goes deep middle. He's got Jerry Rice. Touchdown 49ers!
Quarterback Steve Young, the game's MVP, directed an explosive offense that generated 7 touchdowns, 28 first downs, and 455 total yards. Charger rookie Andre Coleman became only the 3rd player in Super Bowl history to return a kickoff for a touchdown, but that would not give the Chargers enough to make a comeback. San Francisco became the first team in the history of the NFL to win 5 Super Bowls.
And no one can ever take it away from us, ever!
In 2010, Jacksonville's Maurice Jones-Drew embodied toughness. He ran for over 1,300 yards for the 2nd consecutive season, despite playing with a torn meniscus in his knee. Jones-Drew recorded 6 straight games with 100-plus rushing yards, the 2nd longest streak in Jaguars history. With a healthy knee in 2011, MJD should help the Jaguars make a run for the playoffs.
Don't forget, this is ESPN's Year of the Quarterback. It returns with the depth chart, focusing on the quarterback competing for the top spot at Auburn to replace Cam Newton, who, as Tim said, has done pretty well. Year of the Quarterback depth chart, Auburn, Wednesday, 7 Eastern on ESPN. All right, time for prime time performers for Week 4. Merrill, who you got?
Matt, factor back, Forte, 205 yards rushing. Now just give it to him next week, too, please.
Well, that would be the issue. Tim, what about you?
Calvin Megatron Johnson.
Hard to argue.
What this guy did was absolutely ridiculous. Just going up and fighting for the football. Incredible.
4 straight games, at least 2 touchdowns, tying our own Chris Carter for the NFL record. I'm going with Aaron Rodgers. He didn't tie an NFL record. He set an NFL record for performance. 400 passing yards, 2 rushing touchdowns, 4 touchdown passes. It had never happened in NFL history. Aaron Rodgers gets my prime time.
It's hard to argue that one, too.
Go ahead and do it.
Aaron Rodgers, you get it again. Not only in the game, but on NFL primetime. See, I still didn't do it very well.
That was pretty good.
They made
With
me
the
do it.
scripts
I'll never
that
do
you
it
had.
again.
Yeah.
I promise. See you.
We run out of the tunnel with the top 3 stories on College Football Live. First, the new AP